Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
Hello and welcome, race fans, to Super Speedway Cup Series Season number 4. I do believe we're here with another great season of racing action, but here tonight we start out with the shootout that starts out the season like it did last season. Last season actually was Andrew Berger coming home in a race that saw 28 lead changes between 9 different leaders, 15 caution laps and 5 cautions, and the 80 laps. It's going to be a little different story here, as we do have the same amount of laps, 80 laps, but different cars. Everything's going to be very unique. I'm Dakota Ehrman, joined by Evan Pasoko, John Wessling, pushing the buttons on the cameras here as we get set for 80 laps here, Evan.
And that's right, this is their first season running this new Generation 6 car, and it's still relatively new to the iRacing. It's been out for a couple months now, and the drivers are really talking about how different it is, so it'll be interesting to see who can adapt to the changes first and get the upper advantage, because this is pretty much a practice for next week when they start doing points.
Now, I mentioned this be the 4th season, I do believe, that they're running, and we've actually had 2 shootout races, and both of them have been won by the same guy. That was actually Andrew Berger, who is not in attendance tonight so far. We haven't really seen the driver number 24 turn up, as he actually was the season champion last season. Victor Bartlett came home in 2nd last season with Donnie Garetano 3rd. Rodney Wofford came home 4th with Joshua Hanner in the 5th position. When you go back and look at the season standings after the 10 races that we had, the 10-race season that we had, it was Andrew Berger leading Brandon Jericho by 6 points. Rodney Wofford was 33 back in 3rd. Terrence Donovan was sitting in 4th, 34 back, just 1 point behind Rodney Wofford. Marcus Lambert came home in 5th, 41 out. Rod Flack was 6th, 42 points out, with Glenn Hedrick sitting in 7th, 63 out. Gary Schenk was 8th, at 69 points out. Donnie Garetano was in the 9th position, 76 out, with the guy behind him being only 2 points behind him, 78 out of the lead was Steve Bushy here as we're getting closer. We'll go ahead and go down now trackside for the national anthem sung by the Cactus Cuties.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As the field sits on the grid and awaits the command to roll, here we now go down trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And now we have our starting lineup. Starting on the pole, going to be the number 39 machine, Brandon Jericho, rolling off with the most wins last season, so he claims that pole position. Andrew Berger going to roll off 2nd.
Row number 2 will be the number 42 of Victor Bartlett on the inside, and to his right, the 21 of Glenn Hedrick.
Rodney Watford going to roll off in the 5th position in the 7 machine with the 73 of Terrence Donovan rolling out on his outside, the 6th position.
Starting 7th is the number 71 of Phil Foltz, and right to his right side, starting 8th, the 25 of Gary Schenk.
How about Donnie Garitano rolling off in the 9th position in his number 3 machine with Chris Jennings rolling off 10th in his 88.
Road number 6, starting 11th, the number 23 of Rod Flagg, and the number 83 of Raymond Evans.
Jose Ramirez going to roll off in 13th in his 75 machine with the 20 car of Matt Bontempi rolling off 14th. And they will make up almost the last 2 cars. Actually, will have Josh Ball, who will start in the 15th position in his 15 machine. And he will round out the field here as Brendan Shbrefko actually falling off. He pulled over, stopped for a second, let most of the field go, then actually came back up and got his spot back in line.
Yeah, they're going to get ready to go here for 80 laps. There will be a competition caution at lap 50 unless there is a caution from a racing incident between lap 45 and 49, so that'll group things up at the end. And the drivers are really talking about not as much side draft as the old build, so it'll be interesting to see how this race goes.
And we have 15 cars here going to take the green flag, so 15 cars, that's a pretty good field, all of them being past winners here. As we work off of turn number 4, start-finish line going to be in the middle of the trioval, unlike Talladega, which you see. You'll see actually more of, I do believe, possibly next week, if not in 2 weeks. But here we go, pace car getting set to dive. There's the pace car, he's down on pit road. Brendan Shbrefko in charge of the field, and he's going to take us to the green flag. Green flag flies, 39 car on the inside all by himself. Looking to stay side by side with the 24, they head towards turn number 1.
And definitely no jump there for the number 24 of Andrew Berger. He went on the green flag release as opposed to the pace car, so a very equal start now as the 42 is going to pull up to the bumper of the number 39 machine of Brendan Shbrefko on the bottom, and now the 21 just pulling up behind Andrew Berger on the high side.
And there's where the advantage was, where these guys got hooked up just a little bit quicker maybe on the inside than what they did on the outside. That might help them just a little bit. Might gain them that little bit of time, but here comes the outside, hook back up, trying to make the momentum roll on their side as the 42 becomes disconnected with the 39. That's the 42 of Victor Bartlett. And how about the 21 car up here behind the 24 car? That is the 21 of Glenn Hedrick, and he's all over the bumper of the 24 of Andrew Berger.
And behind them, no real other cars are hooked up right now. You see the number 7 car hanging out behind the 21. The 21 has become disconnected. Now they're going to pull in line behind the 42 and the 39. And the 7 has not had a partner yet. Neither has the 71. So it seems the 2 leaders, those were the 2 packs that got hooked up. And everybody else is still trying to find their dancing partner as they work down the backstretch.
Well, it's interesting here. 39 car runner-up in the points. He had the points leader, but really close to having the points lead coming in, I do believe. The final race last season that came down to final positions that ended up making where they sat with the point standings in the end. It was the 24 car of Andrew Berger, his rival that ended up sneaking away with the championship. He actually won this event last season and the season before that. He's the only person to win this event, and he's currently sitting up there in that, I do believe, 4th position, 3rd position actually. So 24 car, solid everywhere it seems like.
And there's no rush of urgency, so to speak. I mean, we're only on lap 3, and we're pretty much single file back to the pair of the number 3 car of Donnie Garitano being pushed by the 88 of Chris Jennings on the high side. They're making up some time as a 2-car tandem, but everybody else is just staying in line single file. It'll be interesting to see if someone's going to want to make a move to the high side, lead a couple laps. There are no points, so they're not going to get a bonus for leading a lap. But definitely a long race, no points. It's just for the shootout, the equivalency to the NASCAR Sprint Unlimited. So all that matters right now is the checkered flag, and these are all past winners, so everybody in this field can do it.
And these are past winners of heat races, B-mains, feature races, trophy dashes. Any event that they have won this season has qualified them for this event. Phil Foltz, 71 car, got the aprons a little bit shoved up the racetrack. He's all right. That would be the 71 car, and I do believe just around, as I'm looking at this, I want to say he's in the top 10, actually sitting in 7th position, or was last time he crossed the finish line. He actually won heat race number 3, I remember, 2 weeks in a row. I think that's the event he won, and that's how he's in the show here. It's the 23. Rod Flagg shoots to the inside of him.
And that 2-car tandem, the number 3 and the 88, they have moved up. You can see they're side by side now almost with the 24 of Brendan Shbrefko, and they have been pushing everybody on the inside. not necessarily pushing. They've just been riding in a line right on the person's bumper, but no two-car tandem. And you see the 39 Brandon Schaberko stepped out. Take a look at the outside now. The 42 machine, Victor Bartlett's going to join them. So now the 42 is going to lead the top line, and 24 is going to lead the bottom line as we enter turn 3.
And that was that's what you see a lot with this series, especially guys working together like they do. 42 and 39 committed partners there. You could see where the 39 was up front. The 42 might have been a little hot. So the 39 pulled up the racetrack, let the 42 go by. 42 comes up, picks them up, and they take back over on the inside and resume the race lead. 3-car falls back. That's Donnie Garitano. And here is the 24 of Andrew Berger with the 21 of Glenn Hedrick. And they're kind of creeping up back up to the bumper. The leaders, you see 39 peeking to the outside. Not sure exactly what's going on there with the 7 of Riding Wofford being just behind Glenn Hedrick. It's your top 5 right there. Just single file riding in a line.
And the 21 of Glenn Hedrick had a little bit of a bobble last lap. Got loose, managed to hang on to it. The 7-car, Rodney Wofford, right behind him, came over the radio and said, wow, so nice save there. Keeping that car in line, not too much of a wiggle. And you really need to be patient in this long race. Like we mentioned, it's not points, and it's going to be 80 laps. We're only on lap 6. And you have to keep control of your equipment. You can't get too excited, try to push to the lead, and overheat your engine. You can't win this race on lap 7, but you can definitely lose it.
Well, right now, there's only 2 cars that really need to be pushing on the racetrack unless you're loose in the lead pack, and that's the 42 and 39. These 2 need to stay hooked up as they've shot to the outside for some reason, and looks like we might be checking up for a caution here. I do believe caution might be out on the racetrack.
And the 71 machine, yeah, Phil Foltz, they were entering the tri-oval. The 88 and the 3 were pushing right above him. And the 3 machine, Donnie Garitano, just slightly moved down the racetrack trying to get centered on that bumper of the 88. Turned the 71 into the 88, and they just clogged the racetrack. Took a couple other cars with them. 71 managed to keep it off the wall. I'm not sure the status of those other cars. They probably have some damage, as I did see cars sliding up towards that safer barrier.
Well, I thought that would put us under our first caution, but I'm still seeing Victor Bartlett in the 39 of Brennan Schaberko pushing, so I'm wondering if the pace car is out. Looks like it might be here as they're actually checking up now. So we are under caution. First caution going to fly on lap number 7, I do believe, as they've caught the pace car. And that's a tough break for the 71. I don't think there was nothing he could do. Garitano maybe just overcorrecting. I mean, this is a new car. They don't really know what might be different. Just little steering implements or inputs could be a little different than what they used to be. You saw the 3-car overcorrects, trying to center himself on the bumper, just comes down, collects the 71, and puts the 71 up into the car above him, the 88, I do believe. And that stuff happens here. This is why we have the non-points race to start out the season.
And the 25 of Gary Shink was a victim of that incident. That wreck happened right in front of him, and he dove it all the way to the infield grass there as they entered turn 1, trying to avoid it. And the car just got loose, and he went back up into the wall, made slight contact maybe with the 73, and he hit the wall a couple times. He has pretty significant front-end damage as they pace right now.
Well, here's the question: do we come down or do we stay out? We know we can make it about 40 laps on fuel. We're working lap number 8. This will extend us to closer to lap 50, but we still do have to make one more pit stop as we're not even 10 laps in. And now we'll see who comes and who stays out. And, the guys that come, what they take.
And it looks like the 42 Victor Bartlett and the 39 looks like everybody is going to come down pit road for the most part. And they're side by side down pit road in 40 laps, and it's 80 lap race. And remember, that competition caution is at lap 50, so that's not the midway point. So if you pit now, are you thinking you're going to pit there? That's about 50 or 42 laps. It'll be close there as they hit pit road.
42 overshoots a stall big time, still backing up there on pit road. So this will be a lengthy stop for him as he's still trying to get centered in his stall, backing up, going forward, backing up as he's now trying. I think he might be all right now. Yeah, it looks like he is stopped in the stall. Right side's going up on that. So 42 car came in as the leader, I do believe, and he's going to leave nowhere near the front.
And neither does the number 39, Brandon Schaberko, entered pit road second. He's going to exit about 4 cars from the rear of the pack. So maybe he had a little bit of damage, or they wanted to make adjustment. Maybe the car's a little loose in the draft, because you're going to be in the draft all race because everybody's going to be going for it. They want to stay at the front. It's not really a long race where you can hang back. You just want to be kind of right there in a position where you can make a move when it's necessary. So the 2 leaders that brought him down pit road, not too good.
You got to wonder if Brandon Chaberco maybe staying on pit road to make sure he was close enough to his partner, Victor Bartlett. Didn't want to leave him in the back of the field by himself. Maybe they know they work together better, something of the sort. But while we pace here, lap 9 of 80 here, we still do have a competition caution to go, I do believe. We're going to go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more racing action from Super Speedway Cup Series, SSSeries.com. We're back live. It's Daytona International Speedway with the Super Speedway Cup Series, SSSeries.com. Getting set to go back green flag racing in their shootout here. Working lap 10. We're double file. Andrew Berger going to lead the field with Rodney Wofford on his outside and 7 machine here.
And definitely Victor Bartlett, who led us down pit road. He's currently at the back of the field. And Brandon Chaberco stayed on pit road a little bit longer. You mentioned maybe teammates or drafting partners, so to speak, staying back there. They're both at the back, so a little bit of strategy, hanging out with who you want to draft with as we are getting ready to go green as they head into the tri-oval here.
Well, if you're going to become separated, at least make sure you can start, right next to each other or extremely close, and that's what they're doing, trying to minimize that gap so they know that they have somebody comfortable to work with. But here we go. Pace car is off. We get it set for the green flag. 24 car going to lead us to the green, and there he goes. Green flag is out, and the 24 car is away. Rodney Wofford on this outside, going to stay dead even with him. 83 going to be all right on the bumper of the 24 car already, and that is Raymond Evans working the inside. How about the 21 shooting down to the inside? He checked up on the outside, comes down, joins the inside line, trying to get back to the guy he was following earlier, the 24 car.
And the 21 machine pulls down to the 20, the 2 Fords in the top 5. And they're going to hook up. The 21 gave a shot to the number 7 there on the start. 7 maybe not the best restarts. Now the 21's going to pull in with the 20, a Ford draft, and then a Chevy draft up front as they're going to enter turn 3 here. The number 7 machine of Rodney Wofford is now hooked up with the 75. And it looks like the 23 is trying to hook up with the 15, so everybody's getting back sorted out.
And here comes the 21 and the 20 to the outside lane, going to be side by side. This is probably the biggest challenge we've seen for the lead most of the night as they had a pretty good run. 20 car becomes separated. He falls down to the inside. Never mind, he's coming back up. He can't make up his mind. Looks like he's going to stick with the 21 as soon as they get back to his bumper, and that's taking quite a while. They now join back in line with the inside lane. 83 way off the bumper of the 24 car as the 21 shoots back to the outside. 20 car right on his bumper. They have a pretty good bit of momentum here as they work side by side with the race leaders. 24 car going to be stuck on the inside. He can't jump up there as they go side by side to turn number 3. 21 car has the edge.
And watch that 7 machine, Rodney Wofford, along with the 75 of Jose Ramirez. They are moving up real quick as the both lead drafts became separated. Now 7 into the back of the 20. They're checking up. They had a huge run there. The 24, the 83 are still separated. It looks like with these new cars maybe, or the drivers that just need to get used to it, it's really hard to keep it on their bumper. We see lots of people separating the 20 all over the bumper of the 21 trying to get centered. 20 looks like it wanted to pull down. The 20 was not clear yet, and they got to check back up, and here come the 24 and the 83 coming on the bottom.
We almost saw an incident there. 20 car, he was On the rear quarter panel, just barely of the 21. 7 car was pushing him. Really nowhere he could go. He's all over the place. 20 car, I think, is focused on looking under his mirror. He's not very steady on the wheel. You see him struggling to stay on the bumper of the 21 car. You see him moving all kinds of around. Definitely got to hang onto that machine. Something could be wrong. I don't know, but he's trying to stick to the bumper. He gets loose, big time loose. He's all right, but 21 car shoots out the inside. 24 car going to be on his bumper. Obviously loose is what the word going around is for these guys trying to push each other.
And the 20 car wanted the 21 to go down, so he's saying that he can't get centered on that bumper, so definitely crazy. And now the 21 machine has pulled down in front of Andrew Berger, and the 20 now, Matt Votempi, who was pushing that 21, he has dropped back a little bit. The 75 is going to pick him up on the high side, but Glenn Hendrick to the lead.
Yeah, that puts the 21 car out front with the 24 right on his bumper. That's Berger right on his bumper. Red flag, 23 car. He was scored in 8th position last time by. He's stinking his way towards the front, looks like, as he can see these leaders with the 15 all over his bumper. That's the 15 of Josh Ball. Those guys making up a good bit of momentum as he's on the bumper of the 83. Nowhere he can really go, though, as that is a single car in front of him with really no help.
And all of the cars in the field, all 15 drivers are within 0.8 seconds of each other, so we're still pretty bunched up. We just got off a caution. I'm not thinking that we're really going to get too spread out here. You see the top 4 pretty much single file. The 83 now is going to jump up in front of the 20. That's Raymond Evans trying to get a high side moving here. And the 7 is now behind the 24.
15 car just shot up the racetrack. He was pushing the 23, and I mean, you see this 15 car every time he goes in that corner, almost just shoves way up the racetrack. That's going to be a scary thing. As he now gets the apron, he gets big sideways for the 15 car. He's all right. He rejoins the racing surface. Going to be 3 wide though. For the moment, he turns the 71 car again. Got up in another incident. 15 car still spinning, and we have a wreck on the racetrack with the 15 of Josh Ball.
And I don't think there is a caution yet. They are spinning into the inside, and look like that 15 car pushes up the racetrack, like you mentioned, on the exit of the corner, and he caught that apron. And when you go from this steep baking to a flat surface immediately, that's not going to work too well. And he needed to get back up on the racetrack, and the 71 maybe didn't even know he was there, and that 15 tried to get back up and just did a little bit too early and couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, no caution flies. Pace car still on pit road. 15 rolls away. 88 rolls away. More damage to the 88, I do believe, as the front bit of that car is a little destroyed there, I would believe. But, man, what an incident.
And that's just a racing incident. It looked like his car was real tight. You were touching on it there. He was all over the racetrack. And you just can't control that car. Once you get on the apron, you're just holding on for dear life. And I don't even think the 71 machine had any idea it was here. Phil Foltz just running his line on the inside and got tagged, and they unfortunately were both in there. 71 still driving, though, so that's good for him. Managed to keep that car under control as they're going to enter turn 3 wide.
Yeah, that's a 42 and 39. That is the 42 of Victor Bartlett, 39 of Brennan Spurk, but they were at the rear of the field at the restart. They're not there anymore as they come to the outside. They were 3 wide for just a moment. 83 tucks down the inside. That's Raymond Evans as you see Bartlett pulling up to the bumper of the 20 car. That is the 20 car of Matt Bontempi. He just went for the lead to the very back all by himself. 42 car shoots out, going to make it 3 wide once again. 23 red flag on the very inside. Bartlett, he's hanging in strong. He lost his partner for just a moment, but there is Spurko getting back to his bumper. 20 car looking to the inside, but he cannot get there. There is no opening for that 20 car.
And he's in the sucker hole. There's a draft up high and there's a draft down low. He has no partner. He's hanging with the 42 and the 39. As soon as they get hooked up, and now the 20 is going to be able to pull in line, and the caution flag will fly. 71 machine, Phil Foltz is spinning on the back straightaway. I also see the 88 machine. It looks like the 71 and the 3 car in the back bump drafting, and for some reason the 88 machine sideways in the middle of the racetrack. Looks like he may have self-spun down the back straightaway and just got right in front of them in huge contact.
Well, I'm looking at this, and it's the 88, turn 3, lap 70, his lap 17. He's right in the wall, and then he comes down off of the wall, goes to the grass, comes back up the racetrack, collects a 71 and a 3 car, and that possibly could cost both of them their days. 3 car, 71, 88, all of them there.
And I'm looking at the 3 car who went head-on into that incident, and he didn't go spinning. It looks like he does have some pretty significant rear-end damage, but that car not totaled, so if he comes down to pit, you may be able to get as many repairs as possible. and try to fix that machine. And the number 88, Chris Jennings, he's currently in pit road. He came over the radio. His car was broke. He just wrecked about 2 laps before that. He was caught up in that incident in the tri-oval, and he was about to come down pit road next time by when he lost the car.
That is very unfortunate. Caught up a few drivers that definitely did not want to see their days in like that. I don't know if their days are over, but Phil Fultz on pit road, and I know Chris Jennings on pit road once again. I know Josh Ball, he might have really liked this, as this could be his chance to get back down pit road and get the car serviced, as he was also involved in that incident. He was the car that ended up going around and starting the incident when he got on the apron. Just laps ago, so 15 car might have really, liked this caution. It could be a caution for the moment, or a caution of chance for him, and he actually stays out here, maybe to lead a lap or something, I don't know, but Glenn Hedrick stays out, 7 car Rodney Wofford stays out, 83 of Raymond Evans stays out, Andrew Berger comes to pit road, Rod Flagg comes to pit road, Matt Von Tempe's pit road, Victor Bartlett, most of these guys coming to pit road here from what I can see.
And Phil Fultz in that 71, he was unable to make it to pit road under his own power, so he has a 5-minute tow. And it looks like the 24 car may have led that off pit road, but we had 2 cars coming fast, but it will be Andrew Berger who leads them off of pit road.
It will here, and tell you what, Rod Flagg going to fall back to what he was shown fifth last time when he crossed the scoring line. I talked to him a little earlier when we were talking to him before the race. He is the guy to talk to, I would say, and we had to talk to him, so why don't we go ahead and bring him up and talk to him during the race as well, or for just a moment.
And definitely lap 20 of 80, so we are a quarter of the way through this race.
And we do have him on the radio, driver number 23 car. That's Rod Flagg, and generally we see Rod Flagg, his race strategy, from what I have observed in past races, he starts in the back, or no matter where he starts, he kind of is in the back and generally sneaks his way up to the field. In the end, it's like, where did Rod come from? And he'll sneak through to surprise you. And that's Rod Flagg on the radio. Rod, are you here to win the thing?
That's the only purpose here is to go to victory lane tonight. It'd be nice if someone other than 24 could win this thing, and I'd like to be that driver. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that my strategy is to not come from the back and run up front. I'd like to, it's nice to be a surprise every once in a while, but yeah, I like to be up here and like to race with these guys and go fast. And luckily we've kind of stayed out of the trouble there. Not sure what happened there with the 88 there, but it looked like he may have gotten to the grass and lost control of his car. But yeah, we're having a good run so far, and just want to get to the competition caution, stay in the top 5, and I think if we can do that, we'll have a good night.
And Rod here, just looking at this, you are running the top 5. You've got quite a few good cars in front of you. What are you trying to do right now? Are you trying to go straight to the front, or just ride around right now?
Really just log laps, stay up here, log laps, be kind of in touch with everything, and if I can do that, I think we'll be in good shape. But that's really kind of what it is. I know that got the 15 up here, which will kind of be really thinking he'll probably be good to work with. Again, if I can hook up with 24, that would be a good thing too. He's the champ. So, but the cars are pretty. People are really just trying to get a feel of the cars right now still. I know you've seen a couple of people hit the apron and just kind of getting used to the new car. So we'll see. It should be fun.
And how about the last season's point champion playing head games with the field here? We noted earlier we didn't think Andrew Berger was going to be in attendance, and he showed up just about the last second, with his car hollow and whatnot, and took a second place starting position on the grid. And was he playing head games with you guys, or what's going on there?
He always does that. He usually shows up last second, and so that's just Andrew. He's good at what he does, and he takes this thing real seriously. So he's definitely a threat out here. I think there's a couple other strong cars, but I think he's really the one. I mean, he's won this thing twice. So.
All right, Rob. Well, good luck here. Any shots you'd like to throw out there?
Just thank you to ETV. Great to have them on board for Season 4. Just want to thank the Super Speedway Cup drivers. Got a great group of rookies coming in. Got a great group returning. I think John Wessling. Thank you to Dakota. Thank you to everybody who makes this thing happen. Looking forward to a great Season 4.
All right. Well, thank you, Rod, and we'll wish you the best of luck here in the rest of the race. Go get it, bud.
Thanks, guys.
And there was Rod Flagg, league admin official It does pretty much a lot here, almost everything, but he's on a racetrack too, running currently in the 5th position. And he's in front of, he was talking about the 15, and I wanted to make note of the 15. He is now being waved around the field. I was wondering what he was talking about, the 15 being up front. 15 had to go to the rear because he was a lap down. He kind of hung around a little bit towards the front, but now he's been waved around the track. He will rejoin the field on the lead lap, as he was the lucky dog. So 15 car, I don't know that I don't think he even pitted. So if he had damage from that earlier incident, he might be in trouble here. I guess we'll find out here though.
And it looks like he may have some minor damage. And now we have old drivers back on the racetrack. Josh Ball, the 15, as you just mentioned. He just got the lucky dog, which puts Phil Foltz, the first car lap down, who just exited pit road in his 71 machine. And then Chris Jennings, that 88 machine, who took a hard hit. They've got that car reset. He is 2 laps down.
Our double file working lap 22 of 80, and again, like you mentioned, the competition yellow going to fly at lap 50, I do believe. So just about 30 laps, less than 30 laps away. We're really closing on that mark, actually 29, I do believe, from that mark. So here we go, so we're through the back straightaway.
And that's right, it's going to be a Ford Chevy on the front row, the 21 Glenn Hedrick in his Ford, and Rodney Wofford, his number 7 machine, Chevrolet. So a mixed manufacturer front row behind him, a handful of Chevy. So will we see a production battle? You want to hook up with their buddy? We saw the 20 and the 21 almost try to get together. They're both Fords. Maybe a little bit of strategy there, but we're about to go green to take lap 23 and go back green flag racing.
Yeah, the 24 car, Andrew Berger, has not really left the top floor. I don't think that's where he wants to leave. You see the 24 going to restart second row on the outside. Keep our eye on him in 4th position. I have a feeling he'll be coming back towards the front. As you mentioned, the 21 being the Ford as well as the 20. There's very few Fords in the field here. Just 29, going to be 28 laps to go before the competition yellow. We'll see what these guys have as we get set for the green flag. Pace car just about to dive, and there he goes. Honorary pace car driver J.D. Webb on pit road. We wait for the 21 to lead us to the green, and green flag is out. We're away. 21 car did not really get going on the inside. 83 got to his bumper. Outside, going to beat the 21 in the inside lane. Across the start finish line, that's the 24 all over the bumper of that 7 car who is on the outside. That is Rodney Wofford. Wofford dives down, leaves the 24 car hanging on the outside lane. 20 car now coming, trying to get to the bumper of the 24. That's a 20 of Matt Von Tempe as he gets to the bumper of the 24. 21 at Glenn Hedrick, now sneaking onto the bumper of Rodney Wofford on the inside.
And it looks like the 24 and the 20 machine there on the high side, they're getting a pretty good run there. And the 20 car's been real loose on the high side there, trying to push. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. And Glenn Hedrick was your leader when we came. He did not get going too well, maybe spun the tires. He got a shot from the 83 of Raymond Evans, causing some slight bumper damage, but now 21 has hooked up with Rodney Wofford, and they are blowing past the 24 and the 20 on the inside. Rodney Wofford going to lead the lap.
Yeah, but 24-20 car hanging strong on the outside lane. They're not letting them really get away. Trying to stay as close to even as they possibly can. You see the 24 car maybe pinching down just a little bit. Right now he's giving plenty of room. It's the 24 and 21 and 7 are kind of up a little bit off of the bottom there. They're making a pretty good time up there as well. It's the 24 car now making a run back on the outside lane. Pretty good bit of momentum going here for the 24 and 20. But they could lose that into turn number 3, as it seems like the outside lane is not the place to be. As the 21 car pushes way up the racetrack, gets close to making contact with the 24.
And the 21 car, it seems like these race cars, this new Generation 6, but like we said, this is their first season using them, they get real tight on the entrance of turn number 3, and they push up as they're now pushing real close to each other. And normally what you'll typically see is they'll try to get as close to each other in the closing laps, not as much now, to try to get the side draft. Well, I was listening into the chat earlier in the race, and the drivers are saying there is not much side draft now as the 24 and the 20 become separated. It looks like the 7 and the 21 are going to clear them. 21 now dropping down to the bottom.
Maybe needing to switch or something of the sort, or maybe wanting to get in line before the pack gets them. The pack is here. 73 car, Terrence Donovan. 3 car, Donnie Garetano leading the outside with the 15 car, Josh Ball right behind him. 25 car, he's on the inside. I do believe it's Terry Shank with the, it's the 15 car, Rex, and he collects Rod Flag.
And another big incident, no caution, because they have wrecked off of the track, and I'm looking there, and it looks like he was right on the bumper of the number 3 car, and the 3 moved over to the right a bit to try to stay centered with the 73, and it just hooked the bumper of the 15 right into the wall, and somehow they only managed to take out 1 car, number 23 machine, had nowhere to go. That was Rod Flagg, who we just spoke to. He got clobbered by that. 75 got a little bit of damage, but they went spinning through the infield grass, but they're now back on track. Quite a couple seconds behind this lead group now, as they probably have a lot of cosmetic damage.
And Rod Flagg way off the pace, only up to 140. He is climbing in speed, though, so he's getting slowly back up to speed. 150 climbing up the racetrack, though, as well. Toe could be knocked out of that machine. It looks like so trouble in paradise for the 23 team, who was running solidly in the top 10. Want to go back up and look at 9th position currently. That is the 42 car, and the 39 car just behind him. Victor Bartlett and Vernon Chabarko, those two running a little ways behind, just about a second behind the lead pack, and I'm wondering if those two may be just hanging back and trying not to get involved in an incident that they foresee happening.
And they are very fast together. We saw in the first caution they dropped to the back, and they were back up front within a handful of laps, so they're probably just hanging out. We've seen a couple incidents, but no cautions, and you definitely don't want to be caught in that, because eventually if you keep running around by yourself, caught up in an incident, you're going to get lapped. And with other cars a lap down, it'll be hard to keep that. Look at as the 3 machine gets way loose, goes down to the double yellow line. He's going to keep it in line. And this front group now, the pack has caught them, and it's more of pack racing now. We have 6 cars on the inside and 4 on the top.
2 of those 4 on the top is going to be the 42 and 39. They have rejoined this group, and on the outside lane, 24 car and 20 lead this. That's Matt Bontempi on the outside with his 24 of Andrew Berger pushing him. 21 car leads the field, though, currently. He and Rodney Wofford pulled a switch, I guess, at one point in time, allowing them to cool the engines down, or at least allowing Glenn to cool down his engine. Now it could be Rodney getting hot. As you see, the 24 car backs way off to the 20. He's obviously hot. There's no mistaking that, as he had to back way up. Looks like he's checking out the outside lane possibly a little bit here.
And these cars are definitely different, and another thing that I heard is they get hot real easy, and when you see that light flashing inside the cockpit there, the driver said, don't play around with it. You got to get off and get air to that engine, because these things can get hot and blow up real easy, and that's what happened with the 24. Came over the radio, said I got to back off, getting a little bit hot. He's going to eventually get back up to that 20, make a smaller the push, but now the 42 has gotten to the bumper of Brandon Chabarko. He's followed by the 39 machine of Brandon Chabarko, getting up to the 24 of Andrew Berger. Is now 20 and 24. Look to the high side, 3 wide.
Well, as a broadcaster, we've seen these cars on track for a little bit longer than what they've been here in this league. They stuck with the old A car, as it was called, the COT, for the rest of the last season after the Generation 6 car was released. We got to see the Generation 6 car a lot since then, and we know that once these things get hot, it takes them a while to cool down unless it's under a caution. So these things can get to the point where the 24 can get hot, back off, and he won't be able to cool that engine down unless he's up front. And then they could end up switching every lap even till it gets to the point where these things just do not like to cool down. Just hit the outside lane. I mean, they're all there, as you see the 21 and 7 on the inside, not really hooked up. The 24 is not hooked up with the 20. No one's hooked up. In the front 2 groups, like the top 2 on the inside, top 2 on the outside. Everybody behind them, all hooked up, all right there, nose to tail, looks like.
And that's where you can get into issues. See the 39 machine keeps poking his nose out there, Brandon Chabarko, maybe trying to get air to the front of that car. He keeps trying to get out there in some clean air, maybe cool that engine down. And that's where you can get into issues. If you're 2 wide, even 3 wide, you don't notice. You stick your nose out to get some air to the front of your car. That's how incidental contact can be made, so you have to be real smart about that. But the 20 and the 24 still staying true together on the high side, along with the 7 and the 21 battling on the bottom. It doesn't look like anybody has much of an advantage right now.
We see everybody minding their P's and Q's here because nobody's shoving 3 wide. As I say that, 42 car to the outside. That's Bartlett being pushed by the 39 of Brendan Chabarko. They're going to be outside 3 wide. Heading into turn number 1 and 2. Looks like the outside lane is prevailing because they're pushing us to 42. 39 made contact. 39 into the outside wall, and he collects a few of the cars.
And he just got onto the left rear of the 42. 42 pushed up a little higher than the 39 was anticipating, hit the wall, came down, and the 39 caught his left rear quarter panel, which turned to 39. He hit the wall, collecting the 25 machine, and the caution flag has been thrown at 39 machine. Pretty significant damage.
At lap 32 of 50, caution flies as the leaders come across the line for lap 33. That was, just losing their patience a little bit. They shoot out to the outside lane, and just not enough room for them. They're maybe not ready for it, and that ends up with one of them finding the outside wall and collecting a few of the cars, unfortunately, there, Evan.
Definitely, and this being a super speedway series, they alternate between Daytona and Talladega, and I'll tell you, Daytona is a lot smaller than Talladega. You look at the racetrack, and when they're 3 wide, you can see about a car length in between each of the rows. You think that's a lot, but from when you're behind the driver's seat, that's not a lot, and it was very easy to get crowded there, and they just went to the high side. As you mentioned, everyone was being careful, and then when they looked to the high side, just slight contact with that outside wall ended up causing a chain reaction. Only took out 2 cars, so not a big wreck, but we're going to pace here, lap 33. We're approaching that 50 lap mark where the competition caution has gone, but I believe this is our 3rd caution so far.
It is our 3rd caution, I do believe. Beneficiary of this caution, I was going to say, Rod Flag. He will be the lucky dog, I do believe, in his 23 machine, as he was the first car 1 lap down. 25 car on pit road did not go a lap down. 71 car also going to be a lap down. He was not the lucky dog like he started out when the caution came or before the caution came out, or before we took the green flag. But here we come now, just in front of pit road. 21 car, Glenn Hedrick may be looking to pit here. We're getting closer, but we still cannot make it on field. Close, as we make it to about lap 73 from here, but not close enough. They see 21 car stays out. He fakes it big time. 7 car is going to stay out. 73 or 3 car stays out. Looks like 73 might be on pit road. He is. 20 cars on pit road. 83, 20 or 24. He's on pit road. 15 stays out. So generally, most of the cars on coming down pit road here, it looks like.
And it didn't look like the number 73, Terrence Donovan, got stuck by the fake, because even when those leaders swerved out, he stayed committed. So they're going to come in, get 4 fresh tires on those cars, go back out there, and because about 3 cars at the front stayed out on the racetrack, they're not going to lose too much position, as Josh Ball and Rod Flag have been waved around the pace car.
Yeah, I think rule here is just trying to keep everybody on a competitive level, possibly, or maybe Josh Ball was supposed to have received a lucky dog a caution or 2 ago that he didn't, and is now being given. I don't quite know exactly what's going on there, but looks like Rod Flag also taking the wave around, as you said. So we work lap 34 under caution here with the Super Speedway Cup Series at Daytona International Speedway with their shootout. We're gonna go ahead, step away, take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more racing action from Daytona International Speedway.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
And we're back live at Daytona International Speedway. We're trying to get Glenn Hedrick on the radio here. But again, back live with the Super Speedway Cup Series. And, with their shootout here, the guy that is currently leading the field is actually going to be Glenn Hedrick, 21 machine. He's currently, sitting in that first position right behind the pace car. We got him on the radio. Glenn, how you feeling about the race here? You've been up front most of the race here.
Feeling pretty good. We did quite a bit of testing on this. Seems to be paying off right now, so just try to keep it up here.
And Glenn, you've been pretty much kind of moving around. You got the 7, you've had the 24, you've had multiple partners. Is there anybody you would preferably be with at the end of the race?
Not really. Just whoever wants to push me, I'm happy to stay in front of them.
And 10-4 on that, Glenn Hedrick. And any strategy here for the rest of the race? Are you just trying to keep that 21 car out front, or are you willing to push here?
Well, I prefer to stay out front, but we stayed out. A lot of cars pitted that last caution. Not sure why, because we have a competition caution coming up at lap 50, and you know, we just got to pit there and get some gas and try to make it to the end. So we'll see what happens. Got a new sponsor this year, Atlantic Marine, so just trying to keep it up front for them.
All right, well, thank you, Glenn, and you know, good luck the rest of the race here.
All right, man. Thanks.
It was Glenn Hedrick on the radio, driver number 21 machine. Here we are getting double file now. Lights off on the pace car. We'll work through the front straightaway, just about to be into turn number 1. Evan Paselko. We saw quite a bit of very interesting racing action here at Daytona with the Super Speedway Cup Series, SSCup.com, and their shootout. And it only gets better. We've seen some very fantastic finishes, especially with this league. We saw as close as .001, 1/1000th of a second finishes to, you know, 9/1000th of a second finish. I mean, it comes down to the wire. Very last lap, last straightaway actually, right across the line. Anywhere you go, it seems like these guys always have a race, whether it's between 2 cars, 4 cars, 6 cars. It doesn't matter. It's always a very intense race to work off turn number 2. Do you have your eye on anybody here to maybe be there at the end?
Well, I've definitely been checking out the number 3, Donnie Garitano, and he hasn't really been strong with a specific partner, but I've been watching the front pack for the most of this race, and he seems to be able to drop back, and he gets up there real quick. However, his car is very loose. They call that, it's fast junk, so to speak. Car real loose, but it does have speed, so if he can get that car maybe slightly adjusted, tone that horsepower, watch out for that number 3 machine. He's going to be starting 3rd on this restart.
How about one of the fan favorites, Rod Fly, back on the lead lap, running in the 11th position, number 23 car. He could possibly come back up through here after being involved in the incident just laps ago. And then there's always got to mention him because of John Westling pulling for Phil Foltz here, 71 car, 15th position, last position on the racetrack. He just got his car back on the lead lap and is trying to rejoin the field. Here we work off of turn number 4, getting set for the drop of the green flag. 21 car in charge of the field.
And that's right, they have brought all the drivers back onto the lead lap since it's not a points race, try to even out the competition as that First Racing Ford Mustang pace car takes that dive down the pit road, and the 21 machine, Glenn Hedrick on the inside, is going to lead us to the line.
The 21 away, 7 car, great jump on the restart. He cannot clear the 21. He actually backs off, looks like he wants to shoot down. He does shoot down, going to take over the second position on the inside lane. Donnie Garitano gets to his bumper. Also want to talk about Rodney Wofford, 7 car, currently in second position. He's actually in, I do believe, Oklahoma currently, and we know there are tornadoes currently going on in his area, just 5 miles away, 2 of them. So we wish him the best of luck here in the rest of the race, and hopefully he's all right and there is issues or damage done outside while he's in here at Daytona.
He's been playing newscaster over the radio, letting everybody know what's going on. He says he wants to be going faster than the tornadoes, over 200 miles an hour, and right now that's the speed that everyone's moving as they bump draft here. 21 Glenn Hedrick being pushed by that 7 Rodney Wofford. Those 2 cars are very strong, and the 24 Andrew Berger, who has been up front all night, you mentioned he doesn't want to leave the top 4. Well, he pitted when we took the 1 to go. Quick stop and go. Not sure if that was a black flag or anything, but he's currently running 13th.
Well, here we are, just single file through most of the field. As I go back a little ways to receive filing double file, that's going to be the 39 and 42. They're back together on the outside lane, making up some momentum. They just went around the 15 of Josh Ball and are now trying to close it in on Rod Flagg and Raymond Evans here. They just took over the, I do believe, 7th and 8th position.
And that 15 machine also probably has something as we look back up front. The 23 now, Rod Flagg, look at him go. He's already back up to about 4th position now. That number 3 car is dropping. The 39, Brandon Chaburgo, going to pick him up. The 83 machine also, Raymond Evans down on that bottom. We have about 8 cars on the bottom. Now the 39 is going to drop down, and that 3 car is getting left on the top.
You definitely don't want to see that 3 car shoots down the inside. He's got to join back in line on the inside. 83 now stuck on the outside by his lonesome, it looks like, as he's making it work up there. As now the 3 comes back to the outside. 73 to his bumper, 25 to his bumper, and more cars coming. Looks like 15 to the inside. That's Josh Ball. As the 83 falls back on the outside lane, no longer really working for him. It looks like by himself.
And he was holding on there as nobody was really pushing, but as these guys, the pack is going to move faster. A train of cars will move faster. You see about a handful of drivers there running that bottom, about 8 cars, and about 4 right now on the top side. So the bottom's definitely going to be faster, even if it's by about a mile an hour. And you can see that 83, who was even with about the 75 machine of Jose Ramirez, sorry, he has now dropped back. And the opening is there, but it looks like he's going to be pushed by the 83.
Here you see the 42 on the inside, 39. They're making a pretty good bit of momentum, trying to get back up to the bumper of the car in front of them. How about 23, Rod Flag leading the outside lane, inside lane, 7 to 21, not pushing whatsoever. They're trying to keep the cars cool, it looks like, as they became separated for just a moment. This is allowing the outside lane to make up just a little bit of momentum, possibly a little bit of time here as 83 kind of laying off at 23, but these guys will be a lot cooler than those leaders will if they can get up there and stay hooked up. That'll be the key, but 83 falls off to 23 once again. Just going into the corner, looks like they struggle to stay together. We've seen a lot of guys struggle pushing. 7 car, he's been really good when it comes to pushing. You see him all over the bumper of the 21. Really no problem there, but the 23, they're making up, 23 and 83, they're making up a lot of time on the outside lane.
And they're definitely very fast. You can see them, they just got hooked back up. The 83, though, is very loose. He had a big wiggle a lap ago in turn 3. He's having trouble getting that car under control, and it may not be the car, but if you have one, say, bobble in the track, it takes you a while to get back into your rhythm. You got to calm down, get in line, get behind them, and get going, and you see they became separated there, which allowed the 21, the 7, and the 75 to pass them, and now the 83 takes a peek at the middle, and he's going to pull back up and stick with the number 23 machine, as here comes the 42, Victor Bartlett, into the picture.
42 coming strong. I think if he can find the hole, he's going to take it. Even if it's not there, we already saw him shoot 3 wide once. I don't think it bothers him to go again. As we're working lap 42, we're just about 9 laps away from the competition caution, unless a caution flies between lap 45 and 49. I do believe here this is a 23, 83 falling off the outside just a little bit. They're still disconnected. 39 shoots to the outside. He's going to leave his partner, the 42, stuck on the inside all by himself. As the 39 of Branch Brecco, runner-up of the points standings last season, as he comes up, and it looks like he's making up a bit of time. 42 maybe looking to follow if he can get the gap. He has a gap, but 39 looks like he's falling back once again. He's now not gaining any time on the 42, as the 42 is now cleared to the outside. 39 jumps in line to the inside, and they both together now in one fluid motion move to the outside lane. As the 23 and 83 are nearly clearing the leaders. 23 dives down. He's not clear. He gets pushed back up the racetrack, and they lose all the time they'd made up.
The number 23 Rod Flag, 204 miles an hour as they enter turn number 1, and here comes the 21 machine. Glenn Hedrick now going to pop up in front of the 23. It looked like the 23 tried to get down with him, so not sure if they're trying to get hooked up, but 23 has jumped up, and they have lost lots of momentum now. The number 7 machine of Rodney Wofford, he's being pushed by the 75 of Jose Ramirez. They are to the leaders. The 15 gets real loose under the 21.
I think those make contact there. 21 and 15 did make contact as the 23 now finally getting back to the bumper of the 21. They're hooked up on the outside lane. 42 and 39 following in pursuit here as they try to make the outside lane work. 15 and 73 not hooked up whatsoever. It's Josh Ball with Terrence Donovan, so those two not really going anywhere compared to the 21 and 23. It's the 23 still struggling to stay on the bumper of the 21. 21 moving around just a little bit on the outside lane. Outside lane might not be the place to be when it comes to leading or pushing. It seems like they struggle to stay together. You see the 39 to 42 just kind of riding around just behind those two as they have caught what appears to be the race leaders.
And we have contact at the very rear end of the field there, right at the start-finish line. The 88 and the 71 machine not working too good together. They were side by side, and they made a little bit of contact, and then the 81 almost made contact again with the 71 turn 1 now. That looks like they're going to try to push past the 24 and the 20. That's Andrew Berger and Matt Botempi. They were up front, and they don't appear to have much speed. I was assuming that they would get back up there fairly quickly, but they are still hanging out in the 12th position now.
Meanwhile, up front, 21 car shoots down the inside, leaves his partner maybe not happy with his partner, but he pulls up to the bumper of the 15 car of Josh Ball. Looks like The 42 car is now 3 wide. He's falling back to 2 wide. The 39 is outside of Brandon Jaberka, just falls back. He's going to fall back in line with the 42 as they get now hooked back up for the 10th and I believe 9th position. And here they come to the very outside, looking to make it 3 wide. Going to be 2 wide instead, though, as they get hooked up. 23 falls to the inside, and now we have a 3-car train on the outside with the 15 and 73 being hooked up with the 25 of Gary Shank following.
And the number 42 machine, Victor Bartlett, being pushed by Brandon Chaburko. They're looking to go 3 wide as they pass the number 25 machine of Gary Shank on the high side there. And they have been all over the place right now. They were up at the front, and then they dropped back, hooked back up together, and they are bad fast when they are hooked up together. So if I'm the number 21 of Glenn Hedrick, when it comes down to the end of the race, he seemed to have the dominant car so far tonight. Watch out for those guys. They are flying on the high side, 204 in the turn.
And up 3 wide, gonna have the 73 and the 83. 83 gets knocked out the inside. He makes contact with 73. 23 makes contact with 83, trying to let the 83 back up. We're still 3 wide. 42 and 39 split up. And here out of all of this, 21 and 15 biggest gainers. It looks like they're coming for the lead. They become separated, but so does the inside lane. So that's not gonna much matter as they got hooked back up way before the inside lane did. They could have the momentum enough to clear the inside lane this time by 42 and 39, falling back to the inside. Going to be 2 wide now as they're on the outside. 21 leaves the 15 hanging, and 7 car now going to be right behind this 21 car.
And the 7's going to pull right up to the bumper of the 21 on the bottom. They're going to get hooked up fairly quickly. That 15, Josh Ball, he just got left on the high side. The number 73 machine, Terrence Donovan, first car behind him, about 2 car lengths off. So he has no pusher. He's looking to try to get in behind the number 75 of Jose Ramirez here. Not sure if he's going to get it done. And here come the 42 and the 39 again, making a charge on the outside of the 73. 3 wide into turn number 3. Those cars seem very fast, but they can't stay hooked up for too long. I don't know if it's the engine's overheating or if it's just the loose race cars, but that's going to seem to be the key here. Everybody's fast when they're hooked up, but it's going to be who can keep it hooked up the longest.
225 car shoots up to the outside lane, really the middle lane, as he's trying to get help from the 73. 42 still in the outside lane, 39 falling off him as 71 gets pinched by the 73. They almost make contact back here in just about the battle for just about 8th position. Here's the 88 of Chris Jennings. He's coming up 3 wide with the 39 of Jaberko, 42 of Bartlett, as it looks like Jaberko falls to the lead of those 2, and Bartlett pulls down right behind him.
And I'm not sure if there's an issue because I am still surprised by this. Way in the back, the 24, Andrew Berger, he's still with that 20 of Matt Botempi. I think they're just riding around to get to the competition caution at this point, because if there was something wrong with their car, they would have come down pit road. They are 5 seconds off of your leaders. They're not pushing, so they don't look to be in any sort of a rush, just trying to make it to the competition caution, which will be this lap.
That should be this lap, or maybe when they cross the start-finish line. See 21 and 7 leading the way as the caution flag is thrown. Competition caution is now out at Daytona International Speedway as the field works off of turn number 2 now into the back straightaway. We are currently on lap 50. Coming across the line will be at 51 as you see the field now working into turn number 3. 21 car, Glenn Hedrick, going to be our leader as a competition caution. He was also our leader at, I believe, the last caution. So 21 car making it a pretty good ways when he's up front. He's actually kind of gone back a little ways. If you remember the last run, actually fell back from the lead, was able to come up and reclaim the lead, and he's in a good position. We did talk to him on the radio. Really solid run for the 21 team here.
And this is going to cool those engines down. Everyone's going to calm down, and this is the reset. 30 laps right now. We're probably going to take 2 or so laps to pace, so it'll be about a 29-28 lap shootout. And I believe we're going to see all the race cars down on pit road. Nobody will be able to make it. You mentioned 40 laps about on a fuel run. Now the question will be, if you're in the back there, are you going to take a big swing at it, maybe go 2 tires or no tires? Tires are not as important as other racetracks here at Daytona, but you definitely want to have a fresh set of Goodyears underneath your car, get your grip, and it'll be interesting. Like people with Andrew Berger, Matt Botempi, they're in the back, but I think they'll be able to make it back up no problem. This is Daytona. You get hooked up and you'll be up there within half a lap, so it'll be interesting here.
Talking to drivers, there's only one disadvantage to having old tires at Daytona or Talladega, and that's if you're making a green flag stop, you come down, you take fuel only. Trying to come off pit road, you can spin those tires very easily. That's going to be their only problem. If they stay on old tires, there's a big chance that they could spin the tires trying to come off pit road and cost themselves some time. But they have had a chance to cool them down to just a little bit here, so it might not be as bad. But tires not really a necessity here at a super speedway. I don't think they're really important from a lot of drivers' points of views, but other drivers see differently. You might see the guys, especially in the back, take 4 tires, but 21 car, he's got to go 2 or none as everybody coming down pit road, 21 car leading the way.
And Glenn Hedrick going to lead him down pit road at 55 miles an hour. Not anymore. You don't want to get a speeding penalty here on a yellow flag pit stop. That can definitely hinder your day right there. They're going to pull into their pit stops, or pit stalls rather, right now. Looks like the 21-year leader, Glenn Hedrick, in his stall. No tires yet. He's currently filling that thing up with fuel. 7 car away, no tires. And the 15 machine, Josh Ball, going to lead the race off pit road.
I don't know that he was, well, he might have won that battle off pit road. He did. Possibly a fuel-only stop for the 15.
I didn't see Glenn Hedrick or the number 7 machine of Ronnie Wofford take tires anyways, which was rather surprising. I mean, it is a super speedway, it's not necessary, but I would have expected some drivers at least take 2 tires, but that will put Josh Ball, first car, off of pit road.
Well, if you think about it, if these guys have made it, 20, nearly 30 laps since the last pit stop or something like that, most likely they had to put a lot of fuel in the fuel tank, or quite a bit of fuel. Now, if you maybe pitted during the last caution, like Josh Ball might have, unlike the 21 car, or you maybe have a little more fuel in the fuel tank anyway. I believe the 15 did have more fuel in the fuel tank. You have to take less fuel. 15 car had to take less fuel. He spent a lot less time on pit road, and I think we saw that. 21 car, I mean, you're going to nearly fill up the fuel tank if he didn't fill up the fuel tank. So, I mean, definitely could lose a lot of time on pit road. 24 car, though, stays out currently, along with some help, it does appear. He has the 20 car also staying out, so those two currently still out on the racetrack as we pace on lap 52 of 80 with at Daytona International Speedway with the Super Speedway Cup Series, SSCup shootout. So we're going to go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break, and again, we'll be right back with more racing action here from Daytona.
Plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
And we're back live at Daytona International Speedway with Super Speedway Cup Series, SSCup.com. That's a mouthful. And we're green flag racing. 20 car Matt Bontempi leads us to the green flag. His partner's 24 car on the outside. He shoots up the racetrack, and he's going to get help from that 24 car 15 of Josh Ball. Will assume the lead on the inside as he turns the 20 car. 15 and 20 make contact. Big wreck in front of the whole field. What?
And the whole field involved in that incident. The 20 and the 24 did not pit on that last caution, and the 15 just barely shoved up the racetrack, got into the 20, and the 20 car came down head on into the wall. Looks like the 21 made it by that, and not many other cars made it through that without damage. A huge wreck. It's the big one.
I would say it is a big one here. So watching the 15 car going into turn number 1, he's side by side with the 20, gets the apron, comes up the racetrack, collects the 20 just a little bit, and then they just weren't done. They could not get apart. End up collecting each other, taking out quite a few cars. The car that looks like it's fairly clean was going to be that 21 car of Glenn Hedrick.
And I'm watching the incident right now from his onboard, and if those cars did not go up the racetrack immediately, he was right in that, and he got loose, managed to get a save. So good save for them, but we're going to have a lot of damaged race cars currently down on pit road.
Phil Fultz, he also got through the 71 car, 7th position across the start-finish line, I do believe. Actually was 8th across the start-finish line. And big wreck. I don't know exactly how Phil did it, but watching the 71 car go through turns 1 and 2, I'm watching wrecks happening. We're wrecking now, so we see 71. He gets pushed in the back by the 39. He goes underneath a car. So that was a car riding on top of him, but he sneaks through and is going to be currently scored in the 2nd position.
And definitely, he was about the 5th car in line there on the bottom, and he went right under that 15 machine of Josh Ball, who was airborne in that incident, and he's currently going to be 2nd position, it does appear, about 3rd,
he got
behind the
pushed back
21.
about 2 spots that he was apparently in front of. You know, when they free scored, he was not in front of those cars, so they let him go back by, it looks like.
And that's right, we're currently pacing here on the back straightaway just about 4 laps after we threw the competition caution, and we're going to see a lot of cars down here pit road for damage repair.
Yeah, Hedrick stays out, but it does appear that mostly everybody behind him, 75, 7, 71, 39, 3, 42, nearly everybody coming down pit road.
And as they enter pit road here, probably some minor cuts and bruises to the sheet metal on some of these race cars. I noticed the 71 Phil Folds going to put tires on it. You might as well, you're going to be down there, top or off for fuel for those drivers that made a shorter pit stop, trying to push it on fuel. While they're down here, they might as well top them off, and we're going to get off pit road on lap 56.
25. Gary Shank and Junk, we go back to about lap 55, middle of the back straightaway or something around there, maybe around turn 3. 25 car, he could not get the engine refired, so he came out with a creative way, got a buddy to help him get back to pit road. And he's coasting most of the way to the back straightaway. All of a sudden, there's this yellow car coming out of nowhere, and it just gets right on the bumper of the 25 like a buddy. It just pushes him to pit road.
And that avoids having to take that tow that we saw some drivers have to revert to on our 1st and 2nd cautions, as opposed to having to wait 5 minutes for that tow truck to get you in your stall. Have a buddy help you out now. He won't lose a lap, and he just exited pit road. Got that car fixed up, and he's being shown 11th. I'm assuming he'll lose maybe a few positions here as we come around for the next scoring loop.
As we now pace once again here, lap 56 of 80. So now we have what appears to be just about 25 laps remaining, Evan. It's getting closer and closer to the end.
And it's almost like a shootout. And when this is their shootout, when you think 80 laps, definitely not your anticipation of a shootout, but here 25 laps at Daytona. If we can keep this thing green, which I don't think we will, it's going to get pretty crazy. We've seen 3 wide already, and that's conservative 3 wide. When these guys are pushing for the win, there's no points on the line. There's not one driver in this field that's going to say, I'm happy with the top 3 to get a good points day. They are all going for that trophy, and the only thing that they need to bring home is the steering wheel.
I also want to talk about right now, while we're currently pacing, how about Thursday nights? They actually have a truck series here, Super 2A Trucks. If you want to check them out, SSCeries.com. More information available on the site. Fantastic series. It's the trucks on the Super Speedways. I know we are supposed to have our Truck Series champion joining us this season in the Cup Series, I do believe, if he's not already, as well as the Cup Series regulars returning later on this season. We'll have some rookies. I think Rod Flagg mentioned that earlier. We'll have some rookies back in the regular season. And also, Super Speedway Cup going to have 2 teams in the ETV the Team Series that runs on Sunday nights at exactly 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, with qualifying kicking off in the pre-race show. So check that out. It's going to be trucks. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what Super Speedway Cup can do.
And if I'm the 21 of Glenn Hedrick, what I don't want to see is those cars up top there. We have the 39 machine. He is right with his partner on the top of the racetrack. That is Brandon Chaburko, with his drafting partner all night. So they've been real fast together. Maybe they'll jump out to the lead there. But the 21's been up front all day. That car acts real good in the clean air. So it'll be interesting, as we're going to have about a 23-24 lap shootout.
Yeah, 24 currently going to be 23 at the start-finish line as we work off of what I do believe to be turn number 4, I want to say. Pace car should pull off just here in just a moment. 21, Glenn Hedrick, going to lead us to the green flag when he is nice and ready. Hear the engines getting set, I do believe. I'm wondering here. Yep, there goes the pace car. 21 car getting set to lead us to the green flag. And green flag flies. 21 car is away. 7 car going to follow on the outside lane. He's going to jump down if he can. 7 car jumps right down. He cut down big time there. 7 car Rodney Wofford followed back in line with the 21. Gets to his bumper, trying to push him around the racetrack.
And the 39 almost spun the number 75 of Jose Ramirez, the 39 machine. Brandon Chaburko was trying to get with the 42. There he goes. That's his drafting partner, Victor Bartlett. They have just hooked up on the bottom, so watch for them to try to make an attack for the lead. But Glenn Hedrick being pushed by the 7 of Rodney Wofford, and Jose Ramirez, a 3-car tango at the front. But here comes the 42 and the 39. They are just so fast, they're going to look to the outside.
Yeah, 42, 39 got hooked up pretty quickly. The 42 had to come from the rear of the field. I do believe he's up there working with the 39. They have a head of steam. Whoa, what happened? The 7 car wiggled big time. He comes up the racetrack just a little bit. 42 car, 39 car looking like they're unstoppable on the outside lane though as they're hooked up. Very, very solid. 42 leading, 39 pushing as they pinch down just a little bit, moving around, but they are staying connected side by side, working through turns 1 and 2. Momentum on the favor of the inside lane through the turn, but it looks like the straightaway could be the place for the outside lane.
And that extra few feet of room that we saw people giving each other early in the race, that's not happening. You see the 39 trying to go way down on the 21. Try to get, and the 39 is spun 42 into the wall. Huge wreck right at the front of the field. That took out your leaders. The 39 spun the 42. 21 machine barely avoided that, and the 7 got pounded too. Huge accident.
Yeah, it looks like the 21 is really, really close to 42. All of a sudden, I don't know exactly what happened, but the 42 got knocked sideways. And everybody just kind of got collected from there, unfortunately. So that was a big incident. 21, once again, second wreck in a row. He escapes the mayhem.
And that 42 car didn't look like there was any air. Maybe a little bit of net code is what we're hearing. They were just pushing it, and all of a sudden, car got sideways, and he went head on into that outside wall and went spinning. Got hit by more cars in traffic. That car, major damages. He barely gets on the pit road into the grass here. So disappointing there for number 42, Victor Bartlett, but that's what happens when all your racing is for a trophy. It's checkers or wreckers, and we have about 20 laps to go left in this race as we are on caution.
I tell you what, back in the haulers, they probably brought a race car, and then once they got the car out, they probably cleared the room for the car and just left room for a steering wheel, because that's what most of these people are expecting to bring back. Is what it looks like. There's one car though, been really stout all night long. You gotta keep your eye on him. 21 car just missed the last 2 wrecks. Even if he was semi-close to being involved, I counted it as missed because he's still up front. He still hasn't had to pit. 21 car looking pretty solid as he stayed up front most of the night. 39 car, however, right up there, right behind him. 39 car very, very fast as well, as he was challenging for the race lead just before. I think we have a race on our hands here as the 39 dives down pit road.
And that's right, the safest position on the racetrack is to be the leader. And you saw the car pushing the 21, that 7 of Rodney Wofford. He was collected, and as cars were spinning through the field, everybody behind them, all they saw was smoke. So the safest position definitely to be in the lead, and you don't want to be anywhere back there as these laps are winding down pretty quickly. And Glenn Hedrick, maybe the dominant car of the day, he has been up there all night long, and now he has the number 75, Jose Ramirez, who has been kind of hanging around about 7th position. He is now in 2nd place, and Rod Flagg, that 23 machine who was involved in an incident earlier, is currently sitting at 3rd.
In the 15 car, I gotta make mention him sitting 15th, 2 laps down. He's been in trouble all night long. It seems like every caution, or almost every caution, somehow he's gotten involved. 15 car not really having a very solid night. I mean, he comes to the front out of nowhere. He's very, very fast. But the 15 car seems to be getting caught up in a lot of incidents, and nothing really he can do about a lot of them. But 15 car, struggling here, and that's not something you want to see compared to the way the 21's running. You see the 39 car going to the rear of the field when he came through pit road, or coming through pit road at least. His partner scored 11th last time by 37 seconds out of the race lead, and I have a feeling he could still be on pit road. He is on pit road, coming down to get 4 tires and fuel, and he's away. So his partner going to be in the very back of the field once again, as Gary Schenk is going to be actually in front of Victor Bartlett, and now Phil Foltz will be 13th. He'll be the only car behind him. He is 1 lap down, and he's just been waved around the field. 7 car could also be waved around the field next, I do believe, as they try to keep everybody on the lead lap here.
And that's the idea of this not being a points race, and they are still running league rules, including infractions, so you can't get racing dirty here, become on probation, as we were discussing earlier before this race started. And they're trying to get older cars back on the lead lap. Phil Foltz has been raved around the race car. Rodney Wofford and Matt Botempi have all been raved around this time. But however, Josh Ball, as you mentioned, that 15 machine, not having the best of luck tonight. He's 2 laps down, and he has not been waved around yet. He'll probably get at least 1 lap back. There it is right there. He's going to try to get 1 lap back here. Not sure if he'll make it on the lead lap before we go green, though.
Definitely not sure about that. We'll have to keep our eye on that. Definitely for later on tonight. Now, being told that we have time for an interview here. We're looking to see who we want to grab. I thought we were going to maybe grab Phil Foltz. Could be a chance to, but not really seeing that we have a radio hookup or available, the ability to hook up a radio to him. So definitely looks like Phil Foltz out of this lineup. So who you want to talk to here, Evan?
Well, we pretty much talked to the people that have been hanging out at the front of the field. And I've been looking at 20 of Matt Botempi and the number 24 Andrew Berger, who have been at the back. They have now moved their way up to 7th. So those 2 drivers sticking together, and they're slowly working their way through the field. Interesting to see what's going on there.
We have one of those 2, the 20 car, Matt Botempi, on the radio here. He currently sits in, I do want to say, I found him 7th position with the 24 car in 8th, and I know that 24 car has been kind of your partner here the whole time, Matt. You guys kind of hung back before the competition caution. Now the competition caution is out. Are you guys going to the front?
Yeah, we're planning on going to the front here. I'll say this, me and the 24 Andrew Berger, he's the reason I'm in this race from last season, pushing me to the B main win in the last race of the season, if you remember. And before that, competition caution, we were pulling a Jimmy Johnson strategy in the AllStar race, sandbagging, because we realized when we pit on the one to go on the caution before the competition that we could make it on fuel from there, and we just saved like crazy. And we were to the front after they pit, and we were planning on staying there, but I believe the 15 came up and got me and caused that massive wreck. But back on the lead lap now, and I'm ready to go to the front with the 24.
Alright, and you currently sit in the 7th position, so you're not far out. Are you guys going to be just instantly jumping in line to get to each other? Are you guys just directly set on staying with each other, or do you think that you could end up finding different partners before the end of the race?
Oh, well, I'm in 11th now because it's pushing me back because of the wave by, but we'll find each other, let things happen, and I just got to thank my spotter, Marcus Lambert. He's a big help, and I'll be further back, but I'll get my way up there. That's the perks and curse of the wave around there.
Alright, well, thank you, Matt, here. Good luck the rest of the race. Any shots you'd like to throw out there?
I'd like to throw a shout out to my mom, my dad, my cat, and all you viewers out there, and prayers to everyone in Oklahoma with those tornadoes. We're praying for you.
Alright, well, thank you, Matt, and good luck the rest of the race here.
You're welcome. Thank you, ETV.
There was Matt Bontempi. And getting set to, I do believe, maybe go black green very, very soon as we are double file. Do want to say we're working in the back straightaway here as the pace car lights are out, getting set to go through turns 3 and 4. So we go back green this time with just a little under, around 15 laps remaining here.
And Josh Ball, 2 laps down, he is back on the lead lap, which means all 15 of our drivers on the lead lap here. They're going to be digging. It's going to be about 16, 17 laps when we go green. And I still don't think we're done wrecking. I think we're going to see at least one more caution. And normally these things seem to be happening at the front of the field, but that 21 machine, Glenn Hedrick, has seemed to avoid them all. So let's see if he can keep his luck up and finish this thing off.
Well, I guess we'll find out here as the pace car gets set to dive. Honorary pace car driver J.D. Webb gonna make that sharp left-hand turn. There he goes, fielding control of the 20 or 21 car in control of the field here. Green flag flies. He's away. 75 car staying to his outside. 83 behind. The 75 jumps in line behind him. 23 car going to be on the bumper of that 21. We have a race on our hands with just about 17 laps remaining.
And way back in 9th position, again, 39, Brandon Chaburko, 42 machine, Victor Bartlett. I don't know how, but they are always finding each other, and they love that high line. They're going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway, trying to pass the 3, the 25, and the 73, and they have a head of steam right in front of them on the bottom. The number 24, Andrew Berger, has been separated from Matt Bontempi. Matt Bontempi is currently being pushed by the 71 of Phil Foltz back there. They still have the time to make up the ground, but they got to get hooked up and get moving real quick.
Real quick, indeed, as we come to cross. Lino! 3 car makes contact with 39. 39 being a bowling pin. 25 shoves it underneath the 3. He gets loose. I mean, he almost collected the 3. Gets loose. Keeps control of the car. Had to, get back on the racetrack very carefully. Manages to looks like 25 car now going to fall back behind the 71. 20 cars caught this group. He left his partner, the 71. He now shoots down the inside, following the 3 and trying to get back up there to the 24. 39 and 42 hooked up on the outside lane as we go through the field here.
And back up front, Glenn Hedrick being pushed by the 23 of Rod Flagg, who's had an up and down night. And there's that 24 car. Andrew Berger has wasted no time. He's the only one to win this race. He's done it twice. He's moving through the field. The 88 trying to push the 83 there. That's Chris Jennings and Raymond Evans. Can't do it, and now the 88 going to get stranded. Here come the 39 and the 42 through the middle, 3 wide through the tri-oval.
And they're making it work until they get to the bumper of the 73, and then there's nowhere to go unless the 39 gets on the bumper of that 73 and pushes him, which is what he's doing. 88 falls in line behind those guys, going to be 2 wide down, with the 20 car being the last car, one of the last cars on the inside. There's a 39-42 to the very outside lane. They're going to leave 73 sitting in the dust. Big stack up on the inside lane as the 23 is riding off 21. And here comes the outside lane. The 39 and 42 have cleared the 73, and they're looking to make up the position on the leader.
And they are flying, and that's the advantage. If you're just pushing somebody, you're all out on the throttle. I heard the 7 of Rodney Wofford, who's there at the back. When he was driving in line, he was about 90% throttle, because you can't push everybody. If you're in a big row like that, you're going to stack up. But now up front, the 42, Victor Bartlett jumped to the inside, and that left the number 39 machine up high. Now he's going to come back up and pick them out. And while they try to get hooked back together, the number 73, Terrence Donovan, to the lead with Glenn Hedrick drafting up behind him.
Yeah, Hedrick getting to his bumper, going to be able to push him here with the outside lane moving. 88 got shoved up 3 wide. He was in the very outside lane. He fell back a few positions. 24 car falls back to the bumper of the 7 car. He is on the outside lane. 25 car now falling back to the 7. So 7 will be now on the bumper of the 25. 71 also at the rear of this pack. That is Phil Foltz. He is running in just about, I do want to say, the 12th position. With not much company behind him. Donnie Gaetano being the first car behind him, who's being pushed by the 20 car of Matt Bontempi. Those two kind of looking like they're the last 2 cars in line here as we go through the rest of the field. We are still side by side up front with the 73 and 42 racing side by side for the lead. 21 way off the bumper of the 73. That's letting the outside lane go. There they go, new leaders, 42 and 39.
Those are some fast race cars. I noticed 207 miles an hour into turn number 1. They now pull in front of the 73 machine of Terrence Donovan being pushed by Glenn Hedrick. We have a 4 car breakaway, so to speak, the next car behind them. Rod Flag being pushed by the 75 machine of Jose Ramirez. And they're going to try to catch this lead group as we are approaching 10 laps to go.
I think the 21 being a better car when he's out front. He can't really do much with the 73 in front of him. He's got to be the car that's getting pushed, and I think that's where he's struggling here as he goes to the outside lane. Maybe 23 car coming with a big head of steam. 21 goes out to block. He does block. 23 gets the bumper of that 21, and this could be the combination they need to get back up front and get the lead back as the 23 shoots down the inside. He's going to stick with the 73, and that's going to lead the 75 back there by himself. 21 falls back, yet another position.
And that 21 car swerving there, he does not look like he is good when he is the one pushing, and now he's stuck on the high side by himself there. He's making up lots of speed, maybe a checkup on the bottom line, 200 miles an hour on his own, but he seems to be the car that needs to be in front, as now the 42 may be trying to switch with the 39. He's going to pop up. 21 tries to push him, contact with the right rear, pulls back in line, and there goes the 39 back in front of the 42, which will let the 73 gain a small advantage, but that 39 and 42 car have already hooked back up, and they're going to move back up on the high side.
Yeah, and the 23 way off the bumper of the 73, so not much of an advantage, actually, because he had no help. And you can't go anywhere without any help. 21 car, he's looking helplessly. He wants to get up there. He just has no help whatsoever. Nobody right on his bumper. See the 83 coming now with help from what appears to be the 71 car. Looking back to the field, trying to figure out what happened to the 24 car. He's going back on the inside lane in a hurry. Going backwards, the 20 car, Matt Bontempi behind him without any help, so this two probably getting hooked up here. The 24 car is falling back. 3 car trying to stay with the 24 car. He's checking up, I can kind of see, as he's not really losing any time to the 24, or not really gaining any time, while the 24 car is actually backing up to the 20, so that's a series of events there, I guess, in the back of the field.
And what a move by the 21, Glenn Hedrick, not gaining any position, but he is desperately trying to find somebody to push him, and he was on the high side, and he slid right in between the 23 and the 73 about half a lap ago with inches of spare. Now he's going to jump back out behind the 73 of Terrence Donovan. 23 around into the 21, and they wreck.
Caution flies with just 9 laps to go as the leaders have crossed the start-finish line. Rod Flag, and I do want to say that was the 21 car that would be in that incident. 21 car goes from the top 5 to not so much in the top 5 as he was racing on the bumper of the 73 car. That is Donovan, Terrence Donovan, and just comes down, collects the 23. 23 comes up the racetrack, collects the 21, and they just go back and forth. 21 hard hit on the inside lane or inside wall, so he will reset and take that tow, and that could take a while for him to get his car fixed.
And we mentioned he had avoided all the incidents up until this point. Not anymore, and as they weren't giving each other as much room as we saw earlier in the race, it was down to crunch time. Just a slight movement caught that 23 car, and they spun. Also caught an innocent victim there, was the number 75 car of Jose Ramirez, got clipped and went spinning. Then the 25 machine also got up into the outside wall. I believe Gary Shank, trying to avoid that incident, swerved. He spun off the bumper of the 7, came down into the 71 machine. So lots of cars wrecking. The second big incident so far, and it comes very late in this race.
Indeed, and with less than 10 laps to go, Chaburko going to lead the field. Bartlett in second, I do believe. Donovan back to third, with Wofford in fourth, I do want to say. As scoring updates, we are showing Terrence Donovan actually in the lead by just about a full lap, so Donovan may be getting the wrong signal, as he slowed up and nearly stopped on the racetrack. So Donovan, I do believe, supposed to be in third position. Maybe thought he was supposed to go catch the pace car and wasn't quite supposed to, as he's now back there with the leaders. Looks like he slowed down enough. Looks like Chaburko pulling up in front of him, but Bartlett not.
And Bartlett has a challenge on his hands, because I'll tell you right now, that 39 Brandon Chaburko, 42 Victor Bartlett, I keep talking about them, they are so fast when they are pushing, and if they can keep their cars together for a long distance, a couple laps, 2 or 3 laps, maybe, without blowing it up, I don't think anyone can really challenge them. And as we're pacing here, the tires are going to cool down, and more importantly, those engines are going to get a chance to cool down, which will give the drivers maybe an extra half a lap or so of pushing before these things blow up. So it'll be very now a dash to the finish now, probably about 5, 6, or 7 laps.
Definitely here is 8 laps remaining. and it's going to be less than that to go. What you got to look at, Terrence Donovan, Victor Bartlett, the way they're running, they will line up on the same row. Those two can get hooked up immediately, so that's the benefit they have of being first and third currently, I would say here, Evan, and this is definitely going to be an interesting little restart with a small shootout, looks like.
And that's right, and the two drivers that we were talking about who were hanging back before we took the competition caution, that's the number 24 of Andrew Berger and the 20 of Matt Botempi. We saw Matt get left there on the restart. Andrew had a good run on the bottom there, and then he dropped, and he was just waved around the pace car, so I believe he may have been caught in that incident, and he's being currently scored 14th with Matt up in 9th. So that was definitely not what they wanted to go. But at Daytona, you have your drafting partner, and then you take the white flag, and it's all gloves off. You're going to go with whoever you can to get the win, and we're approaching there. It's going to be a wild finish as everyone's going to be grouped up here when we go back green.
Glenn Hedrick being waved around the field. He picks up back in the lead lap, 15th position. He'll be the last car on the lead lap, last car on the racetrack. Everybody that started the race still currently running the race with just what appears to be less than 8 to go. Actually, 7 to go. Currently going to be 6 to go at the start-finish line. So it's going to be a 6-lap shootout. We have the chance of one more caution depending on when it falls for us to go back green flag racing. But it's a very, very slim window. If we go 3 laps and we get a caution, chances are we will not go back green.
And with no green-white checkered system in iRacing, that's going to add even more intensity to this restart, because the way it's been, if you're reckoning the last 20 laps, then the chances of another caution coming out here with 5 to go is going to be a lot higher. And if a caution comes out, you said if we run 1 or 2, maybe 3 laps, there's no way we're going to get back green flag racing. So you're going to want to get to the front right away. And the 7 and the 73, who are matched up in front of each other and behind each other on the high side, they haven't really pushed much at all night long, but you better get used to your partner, because that 39 to 42 right by each other rather on the bottom.
And his 7 car, he's got to go. I mean, he's got no other choice but then to go with the 73. That's his options there, really. They're very, very limited. 73, I mean, he's got no time whatsoever as to work off of what appears to be turn number 4, getting set for one final restart possibly here with Super Speedway Cup Series, SSSeries.com at Daytona International Speedway, season opener. The shootout here, this is a non-points paying event. They're all racing for a trophy. That trophy to be presented to the winner, so we're only racing for that one spot, like we said. Here we go, as they field off the turn number 4. Pace car getting set to dive, and waiting, and I do believe, there he goes. 39 car in control of the field, 42 on his bumper. Green flag flies, 39 car is away. 42 right on his bumper, outside lane does not go, they stack up. Phil Foltz, how about him? 3rd car on the inside lane. He's got the best run here as 73 has a chance to dive down. He doesn't take it. Going to stay on the outside lane for just a moment.
And that was a big stack up there on the high side. Oh, 75 comes way up. 83 gets right out of the way. That was very close. They had a huge stack up. 15 went into 83. 83 was into the 7 there. Here comes that 3 car. He is being pushed by the number 75 machine of Jose Ramirez. Donnie Giratano making a look, but they have hit the number 71 car, Phil Foltz, who did not have a partner, and they're going to go a 3-car tandem, or 3-car tango rather, and they're going to try to catch this lead group, the 39 to 42, and they're making up time on the bottom.
Here comes the inside, 71 maybe shooting up to the outside. He thinks better of it, stays on the inside, maybe going to shoot down the very, very bottom. There was a little bit of room on the inside, but not much as that's been filled. Here comes the 73 and 7 on the outside, and somebody's wrecking on the racetrack. Caution flies.
The 21 machine, Glenn Hedrick, in the back. I'm watching. He was right behind the number 23 and the 25 machine of Gary Shank and Rod Flagg on the bottom. And he caught the number 83 Raymond Evans on the high side. 21 looked to make a pass as the 83 was slightly moving down. Figured it was going to be too wide. Tried to get a little bit of side draft. 21 went right up and over the nose of the 83. That also caught the 20 and the 24, who did end up trying to hook up. They managed to hang on to their cars. 24 hard into the wall. 21 car destroyed. And this may end the race. It's close.
We have 5 to go. Going to be 4 as we take the start-finish line. I think it's a matter of when they catch the pace car. They won't catch the pace car until just about turn number 1. I believe heading into turn number 1, maybe off the backstretch or off of turn number 2. So there's a slim chance we go back green for a 1-lap shootout. But I do believe this race may be over. Brandon Sperko going to be possibly the winner here. And let's just talk about the winner of this race. There's only been one. And last season, the winner of this race, he went on to win the championship. Brandon Chaburko did not win this race, and he was a runner-up. The only guy that won this race ever in the 2 times that it ran was Andrew Berger. He won it both times, so definitely interesting.
And that number 24 car, Andrew Berger, he's currently being shown 13th position. He has not had a good run since we took the competition caution at lap 50. And he was involved in that incident. He's now going to drop to 14th place. He is currently sitting on pit road. So Brandon Chaburko, Victor Bartlett, the dominant duo of the day. And I bet Victor is disappointed because he maybe wanted a challenge for that, assuming we do finish this under the caution. And Glenn Hedrick, is taking responsibility for the incident, got a little bit loose, came up and made that slight contact with, ended up in the wreck. Raymond Evans says there's no problem with that, so we're going to pace here lap 77.
And now on the radio, I do believe, I know the race isn't over, but here to confirm whether we're going back green or not, the guy who probably doesn't want to go back green, I'm sure, driver of the number 39 machine, runner-up last season in the point standings, Brandon Chaburko, we got you on the radio. Are you going to go back green?
Yeah, we're going to have a one-lap shootout here.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you hold off everybody here for the win? You're going to have your teammate, the guy you've been working with on the outside. How do you guys plan on restarting this race?
At this point, it's just going to be every man for himself because it's only going to be 1 lap, so we're just going to go.
10-4. Are you planning on, winning this thing, or you think 42 is going to put up a big fight and you might end up losing it?
Victor will definitely put up a big fight, so I'm definitely worried about maintaining first place.
All right, Brandon. Well, how important is going to be the restart here? Are you really worried about the restart, or is it just the fact that you have the inside lane might help you just a little bit here?
I think the inside line is going to help me out here. I think the restart, even if he gets a relatively bad restart, I think it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I know you got the 73 on your bumper. He really, I think it was him that kind of struggled on the last restart. Are you really counting on him get going on the restart and get right on your bumper and push you the rest of the way? Or, I mean, what's the plan there? Have you actually talked to him at all?
No, I actually haven't talked to Terrence quite yet. Yeah, I'm definitely counting on him, though.
All right, well, here's your chance to throw out any shout-outs you may have here.
Yeah, I got to thank UTV for broadcasting this, Victor for pushing me this whole time. Good luck to you, Victor, if you're listening here. And Ron for putting on the lead.
All right, well, thank you, Brandon. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the race here.
Appreciate it, Dakota.
You got it from the man himself. We are going back green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway with the Super Speedway Cup Series, SSSeries.com. Check them out. They also have a Thursday night truck series. So, again, next week will be the first points-paying event. That will be, I do believe, possibly Daytona, possibly Talladega. We don't really know. Or I don't know. I know it's on the schedule. Just check them out on their website. You can honestly know by yourself there. As we pace here, though, this is kind of shaking things up. Who you got your eye on now?
Well, I was looking for that 39 and 42 to be a 2-car battle there at the end. However, 1-lap shootout. They're barely going to be up to speed. They're just going to be hitting 200 miles an hour when they come around the next time by. So you literally have no time right now to find a partner. If there's an opening there, even if there's an opening that's the width of half a car, you have to go for it. This is the last lap. Like we mentioned earlier, all you got to take home is the steering wheel if you want that trophy. You got to go for it here, and it'll be very interesting to see how this race shakes out here as we exit turn number 2 very soon here, and we're going to go green next time by 1-lap shootout.
I don't believe anybody was waved around the field because Andrew Berger currently sits 1 lap down, Chris Jennings 1 lap down, and Glenn Hedrick 2 laps down. So now we work through what I do believe to be the back straightaway. It is the back straightaway. 39 car going to have control of the restart. Pace car is going to dive off when we get off turn number 4. Got to watch the 42. Got to watch the 71. 71 has kind of been a little, I don't know. I don't know if that's the guy you want behind you. It could be, could not be. I don't know. We got to see what the 71's capable of. He was a rookie last season with Super Speedway Cup, so definitely going to be interesting to see what Phil Phillips can pull off. 7 car going to be on the bumper of the 73. And how about 73? If Terrence Donovan whether he can get on this restart is going to depend on whether, or how Brendan Jabricko finishes, and whether the 73 stays with the 39, or whether he jumps up or goes with somebody else or shoots up the middle. This is going to be interesting as we work through turns 3 and 4, getting set for the restart.
And when you're in the driver's seat, all you're going to see is the back bumper of somebody's car. Glenn Hendrick, who's in that incident, he is parked on pit road. He's watching the broadcast in his pit stall, so it'll be interesting to see. You have the best seat in the house, and it's going to be a crazy lap as we are working our way into the tri oval, and that pace car is going to dive momentarily and unleash the cars.
And here we go, honoring pace car driver JD Webb's on pit road, and here we go, green flag flies, Jabricko is away, Donovan gets a pretty good restart, so does Foltz. Everybody going pretty much 2 wide all the way through the field. Nobody's really lifting 3 car on the outside. He is the 3rd car on the outside. He was falling back for just a moment. 73 falls big time off the 39, so 39 all by himself. 71 not really helping the 42 at all either. 3 car 15, they were hooked up for just a moment. 75 hooked up on the inside. 73 coming back with a run. 3 car coming all the way on the outside by himself. Big wreck behind the field. 73 got started, and that's 42 jumps up to get the 3, blocks him. 20 car coming out of nowhere. He shoots down the inside. He has help from the 24 car. He's going to now, the 20 car gets underneath the 42. 15 to the outside wall. 20 car shoots to the outside lane, and he's looking for help. He's got the 73 coming up. He shoots down the inside. He's going to cut off. 39's in the way. Oh, they wreck across the start-finish line. It's going to be Giratano.
Donnie Giratano right through the middle. I think the entire field nearly wrecked there on the last lap, and the 24 car sent 1 car around incidentally. I think it was the 20 going for it, and the 42 machine looked like he might have had a chance. 73 came up right in front of him, and that 3 car, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and he's going to go right through on the bottom on that double yellow line, and he's going to take home the trophy.
That was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that ever. That was one of the more intriguing finishes I've ever seen. We've seen some very close finishes, but that was just unreal. We're going to try to talk to Donnie here in just a moment.
And on the backstretch, the 7 car was turned by the 75 into the 71. That was the first wreck. It was the white flag, so there was no caution. And then the 3 car pulled in behind the 42, and it was about 6th position when he entered turn 3, and then they all wrecked in front of him, and he found the gap, and he came to the checkered line first. What a race.
Donnie Giratano on the radio. Where did you come from, man?
Oh man, I just got lucky. That was one of them luck wins.
And I mean, they were all crashed in front of you. What's going through your mind when you see everybody just going around, smoke everywhere, everything just flying?
I'm just trying to get through it, man. I seen them all crashing, and I thought I was going to get caught up in it for a second there, but I made it through.
I mean, how good does it feel to win the season opener, the shootout here? It might be non-points paying, but it does start you off with a good bit of momentum. Last guy to win the shootout ended up winning the championship, and he was the only guy that's ever won one of these things. You've also knocked him off, and being the 2nd person ever to win this event.
Oh, it feels real good, man. Going into the season with a win is a great thing. It's a tough group of guys here, and it's lots of fun.
And can we see you maybe in victory lane again throughout the season, or even up front in the championship? I mean, what are you expecting this season from yourself?
I'm going to run as hard as I can, try to stay out of trouble as much as I can, and put this number 3 Chevrolet in victory lane as much as I can.
All right, well, thank you, and you got any shots you'd like to throw out there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys and for what you do, and thank Rod Flagg. And our thoughts and prayers are with those people in Oklahoma.
All right, well, thank you, Donnie, and we look forward to seeing more of you throughout the rest of the season. And get a win here tonight, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
There was Donnie Giratano. Now we have our 2nd place finisher up live from the broadcast booth with Evan Basoko.
And that's right, we're with the number 20 car of Matt Botempi. And Matt, you were 2nd position there on the inside lane coming to the checkered flag. Got a little bit loose off the 24. You got 2nd place as you slid sideways through the grass. Tell us about that finish.
Man, that was crazy. I was starting way in the back there, and you saw me. I got to thank my spotter, Marcus Lambert. He he spotted me through that, and he told me to go low, and man, I was thinking about that yellow line there, but I know the yellow line's illegal in super speedways, and I can't go down there, but I was looking for the middle, and I just got a little loose off the 24's bumper, but man, Andrew Berger is the man. We were working together the whole race, and even when he was lapped, we found each other, and he worked hard to get me up there, and great win to Donnie, and man, I was just going for it. You want that trophy, you know what I'm saying?
And definitely an exciting finish. And we noticed you guys were hanging back when we were coming to the competition caution. And then we almost counted you guys out of the race. You guys couldn't make up your position. And then in a one-lap shootout, next thing we know, you're right there battling for the win. What was the pace of the race with the first race of the Super Speedway Cup and these new Gen 6 cars? What are the main differences between this as opposed to the Impalas?
Well, the thing with the Impalas was you could just push so easy, and it was not difficult. These things take skill, they take finesse, and I had not touched these things and been in a Gen 6 car before tonight in the warm-up at 7:30, so I had a lot of an adjustment period, and it got to the point where I started to be able to push and get pushed, and the main thing is, to be successful in these, you've got to be able to have the guy in front hold a real steady line, and that's what Andrew did, and that's what I tried to do for him at the end.
And what kind of confidence does a strong finish in this, so to speak, warm-up race, the shootout, give you for the rest of the season now that you have that seat time and you know, hey, you can drive these cars?
Hey, it gives me a lot of confidence. I feel like I can go out there and win on any given A main. I won't drive like that in a points event. Most likely, that was kind of crazy there, but it gives me a lot of confidence. It really does.
And definitely a good race. Any shout-outs you want to throw out there?
First, I want to throw a shout-out to everyone in Oklahoma. Once again, prayers for Oklahoma. One of our own drivers, Rodney Wofford, he's right there in the line of the Tornadoes, and we want to pray for him and everyone there. Got to thank my spotter, Marcus Lambert, once again. Got to thank everyone at Splash and Go Motorsports, my team. And just thanks to you, ETV and Rod Flag, for putting this whole thing together.
Definitely a strong night for the number 20 car of Matt Botempi. He's going to take home second place. Watch for him next week.
Thank you.
And there was Matt Botempi. Now we're going to move down to our third place finisher here tonight, driver of the number 73 machine. That is Terrence Donovan. Terrence, man, you seem to have an up and down night. You really seemed to struggle pushing. You were up front at one point. You had the 21 on you, and I mean, you kind of moved around throughout the race. You were able to sneak through the carnage at the end of the race to finish third. What was it like trying to sneak through that final wreck there?
Well, I mean, everything was sort of going to plan, and then I sort of got wrecked there going across the line. But yeah, I mean, it was a long race. I could hang in the back and then move up to the front, and then I don't know, I'd just rather not go across the line backwards.
And definitely not happy about going across the line backwards. I mean, if you could go back and do it different, is there anything you would do different throughout the race or throughout the inning, or not so much?
Well, the plan was to have Rodney pushing me, but he sort of got wrecked there, or something happened on the back stretch, and so I didn't have him behind me, and so I had to go around Brandon on my own, and then it ended up not working out.
And Terrence, I know that you might not be happy with finishing backwards, but you did finish third. You had a pretty solid run throughout the day. At the end of the day, and that does build up momentum going into the rest of the season. Are you looking forward to the rest of the season here with these Generation 6 cars and new cars for the series?
Yeah, I like these cars. I've had a lot of seat time in them, so I got a pretty good handle on them. So yeah, it's looking pretty good.
And you say we could see some good performances, maybe some wins later on in the season from the driver of the number 73 machine?
Yeah, I should say so. It's a bit overdue, so yeah, I got my fingers crossed.
All right, well, thank you, Terrence. And are you anyone you'd like to thank here?
Not really. Say hi, Rodney. Good luck with the Tornadoes. And yeah, Rodney just reminded me to say hi. So good luck, Rodney.
All right. Thank you, Terrence, Matt, and Donnie for stopping by and finishing the post race here with us. Now, Evan, man, we saw a great night of racing, and what a finish! That was a very unique finish at the end of the night, and I can't wait to come back for more in the rest of the season, Season 4. How about you?
And definitely good thing you were talking that last lap because I was speechless. What a finish. We had a wreck on the backstretch. Obviously, white flag, no caution. They raced it out, and the car that was 6th position ended up getting the win. And that is what these super speedways bring. And this is just a warm-up for these guys, so hopefully we can see racing action like this every night. Great race all around.
Definitely. Make sure to tune in next week, 8:30 or about 8:20 maybe p.m. Eastern time for the pre-race show. We'll get racing at just about 8:30, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get season 4 underway. With the points-paying events. What a night with a shootout, and we will be back next week. Don't go away. And also, if you get bored, check us out Sunday nights. We have some events going on Mondays. I know Thursdays, and we'll also be back Friday. So always go to etv-uplay.net. Check out the schedule. Also, ssseries.com, Super Speedway Cup. Join our Thursday night truck series, maybe the Cup series if you guys want to race with these guys. But for all of us here at ETV Live, I'm Dakota Ehrman, joined by Evan Basoko, John Westling up in the studios. We're going to go ahead and cut away. We'll see you next week.